If you come to Sydney with a bit of cash to splurge, maybe this is your spot as well.
Australia is a land like no other, with deserts, beaches, and animals you won't find anywhere else. This country has underground towns, pink lakes, and smiling quokkas that steal hearts. Its culture, food, and history are packed with surprises. Keep watching as we share 15 mind-blowing facts about Australia that make it the world's most unique country. From strange street names to ancient wonders, each fact will amaze you. Get ready, because number 1 is a desert town, unlike anything you've ever seen. Let's dive into the first fact now. Number 15, living costs. Australia's cost of living in 2025 is high but manageable, offering a mix of quality and expense. A single person needs about $3,300 monthly for essentials like housing, food, and transport, while a family of 4 requires around $5,700, making Australia more expensive than 90% of countries. Rent in cities like Sydney or Melbourne ranges from $1,800 to $2,500 for a one-bedroom apartment, but drops to $1,200 in places like Adelaide. Groceries cost $80 to $150 weekly at stores like Woolworths. Electricity and gas bills average $393 and $203 quarterly, with 27% of Aussies stressed by energy costs. Public transport fares are $100 to $150 monthly, and a coffee can hit $7 in some cafes. Inflation, at 2.4% annually in March 2025, drives up prices for food 3.4% and health services 8%. Yet wages grew 4.1% yearly, slightly outpacing inflation, and tax cuts in 2025 save a $60,000 earner $1,179 annually. Compared to the US, living costs are 3.4% lower, with rents 23.5% cheaper. Australia's high quality of life, with free beaches and parks, balances the expense. Now, let's explore a city where calm streets and green parks create a unique vibe. Number 14, Canberra. Canberra, Australia's capital, is a city of calm and charm, designed as a green oasis. Built in 1913 to settle a Sydney-Melbourne rivalry, it's home to 454,000 people, growing 2.1% yearly. Its planned layout, crafted by Walter Burley Griffin, features wide boulevards, roundabouts, and 60.9% detached homes, higher than the national 70.3% average. Lake Burley Griffin, a 664-hectare centerpiece, glows at night, perfect for cycling or strolls. The city hosts world-class sites like the National Gallery, with 160,000 artworks, and Questacon, where 500,000 visitors explore science yearly. Canberra's vibe is unique as it suits riding bikes to work, and traffic is light, with commutes under 30 minutes even from the suburbs. Farmers markets buzz with local produce, and 80% of residents visit cultural sites annually. Despite high incomes averaging $3,542 monthly after tax, 48% of households spend half their budget on rent, around $620 weekly for a 2-bedroom. The city ranks second globally for quality of life, trailing only Grenoble, France, for income equality and health. Canberra blends nature, culture, and calm, unlike any other capital. Next, let's sip on a fact about a drink that fuels Australia's daily rhythm. Number 13, thriving coffee culture. Australia's coffee culture is a way of life, turning a simple drink into a daily ritual. Aussies drink 1.9 billion cups yearly, averaging 73 cups per person, with 26.9 million people fueling this obsession. The flat white, born in Sydney in the 1980s, is the star, a smooth espresso with velvety milk served in 95% of cafes. Unlike the US, where chains dominate, 80% of Australians prefer local cafes, where baristas know your order by heart. Melbourne alone has over 2,000 coffee shops, and 67% of Aussies visit one daily. A flat white costs $4 to $7, more expensive than in 70% of countries. Coffee's impact is huge. The industry employs 140,000 people and adds $10 billion to the economy yearly. Aussies roast beans fresh, with 90% of cafes sourcing locally, unlike Starbucks, which struggled here, closing 61 stores by 2008 due to local loyalty. From beachside stalls to city corners, coffee sparks conversations and smiles. Now let's fire up a fact about a smoky tradition that brings Aussies together. Number 12. Outdoor BBQ. In Australia, barbecues are more than meals. They're a national passion, uniting people across backyards and beaches. Aussies host over 100 million BBQs yearly, with 85% of households owning a grill. Public parks offer 20,000 free electric BBQ stations cleaned daily where anyone can cook. You'll find steaks, barramundi fish, and even grilled pineapple sizzling, with 70% of Aussies grilling weekly. A typical BBQ costs $30 to $50 for ingredients, and craft beer, drunk by 60% of attendees, is a must. Summer Christmas, BBQs on beaches draw 40% of families, swapping snow for sand. In 2025, 90% of Aussies say BBQs build community, from birthdays to Australia Day on January 26. Skills matter as overcooking earns friendly teasing, but 65% of hosts pride themselves on perfect flips. Sydney's Bondi Beach hosts 5,000 BBQs annually, with locals sharing food and laughs. This tradition reflects Australia's laid-back spirit, connecting neighbors and newcomers alike. Let's savor a fact about foods that define Australia's bold flavors next. Number 11. Australian cuisine. Australia's food scene is a tasty adventure, blending bold flavors with local pride. Vegemite, a salty yeast spread, is a national icon, with 80% of Aussies eating it weekly, though 70% of Americans find its taste too strong. Tim Tams chocolate biscuits with creamy filling sell 670 million annually, loved in 40 countries. Meat pies, a stadium staple, see 260 million eaten yearly, with flaky crusts and rich beef or chicken fillings. Lamingtons, sponge cakes dipped in chocolate and coconut, are devoured by 65% of Aussies monthly, with 45 million consumed each year. Aboriginal bush foods like kangaroo and wattle seed add unique twists, used in 30% of fine dining menus. Seafood shines too, as Sydney's fish markets sell 14,500 tons of prawns and oysters yearly. Outdoor BBQs tie it all together, with 90% of Aussies grilling for gatherings, from beaches to backyards. This mix of hearty, sweet, and native flavors makes Australia's cuisine stand out. Next, let's dive into a fact about Australia's stunning shores that'll leave you speechless. Number 10. World-class beaches. Australia's beaches are a global treasure, with over 10,000 stretching across 37,000 miles of coastline. That's enough to visit a new one daily for 27 years. Bondi Beach in Sydney, just 4 miles from downtown, draws 2.5 million visitors yearly for its golden sand and surf culture. Surfers ride 6-foot waves, while 50,000 joggers hit the shore weekly. Manly Beach, a 30-minute ferry ride from Sydney, sees 8 million visitors annually for swimming and kayaking, with 70% rating its calm vibe. Hymes Beach in Jervis Bay holds the Guinness World Record for the whitest sand, sparkling so bright it hurts your eyes. Its 2.9-mile shore hosts 500,000 tourists yearly. Australia's beaches support 250,000 jobs and add $15 billion to the economy. From coral-fringed bays to desert-edged shores, 85% of Aussies live within 31 miles of a beach, shaping their active lifestyle. Coastal festivals like Bondi's Sculpture by the Sea attract 500,000 art lovers annually. Now let's meet the spirited women who bring Australia's vibrant culture to light. Number 9. Australian women. Australian women shine with independence and energy, shaping the nation's spirit. In 2025, 52% of Australia's 26.9 million people are women, with 60% holding university degrees, among the highest globally. Over 35% of small businesses are women-owned, contributing $135 billion to the economy. Australia led the G20 with Julia Gillard as its first female prime minister from 2010 to 2013. You'll see women driving four-wheel drives across the outback, surfing at dawn, or leading boardrooms as 40% of corporate executives are female. Their style is relaxed yet bold. Think sun-kissed skin, flowy dresses, and wide hats. In dating, 65% of Aussie women feel confident making the first move, and surveys show 70% are open to relationships with foreigners, especially from the US or UK. On Bondi's streets or in Melbourne's cafes, their warm smiles and directness stand out. A 2024 study found 80% of Aussie women value adventure, with 25% hiking or camping monthly. Their strength and openness make them global icons of freedom. Next, let's celebrate the lively festivals that light up Australia's sunny days. Number 8. Vibrant festival culture. Australia's festivals burst with energy, turning sunny days into unforgettable celebrations. With summer in December, 40% of Aussies swap Snowy Christmas for beach BBQs, grilling prawns for 2.5 million gatherings. Vivid Sydney, the Southern Hemisphere's biggest light festival, draws 2.3 million visitors each May-June, painting the Opera House and Harbour with laser shows and 3D art. Melbourne's Moomba Festival, held since 1955, attracts 1 million people with quirky parades and costumes, where 80% of attendees join the dress-up fun. The Woodford Folk Festival in Queensland hosts 2,000 performances yearly, pulling in 125,000 music fans over 6 days. Australia spends $7 billion annually on festivals, boosting tourism by 15%. From desert dance events to coastal art fairs, 70% of Aussies attend at least one festival yearly, with 30% traveling interstate for them. These events showcase Australia's love for creativity and community, blending music, food, and laughter under open skies. Now let's step into a charming village where Australia feels like a slice of old Germany. If you're loving this video, hit the like button and comment your thoughts below. Share which Australian fact has blown your mind the most so far. Let's keep exploring together. Number 7. Hahndorf. Hondorf, a gem in the Adelaide Hills, is Australia's oldest German settlement, founded in 1838 by Lutheran migrants fleeing persecution in Prussia. Named after Captain Dirk Hahn of the ship Zebra, which carried 187 settlers, this village of 2,670 people feels like a slice of Bavaria. Its main street, just 1 kilometer long, bursts with 100-plus shops, from Otto's Bakery, serving German bread for over 50 years, to Beerenberg Farm, where 500,000 visitors pick strawberries yearly. The Hondorf Academy showcases local art, while the Cedars, home of artist Hans Heissen, draws 10,000 tourists annually for its landscapes. Traditional Fachwerk buildings house cafes serving schnitzel, and 60% of eateries offer German dishes. Despite being renamed Ambleside during World War I, Hahndorf reclaimed its name in 1935. A 30-minute drive from Adelaide, it hosts festivals like Oktoberfest, attracting 20,000 visitors. The Paramonk people lived here for 20,000 years before settlers arrived. Let's zoom out to a fact about the vast, wild land that makes Australia unlike any other. Number 6. The the unique island continent. Australia, the world's smallest continent and largest island, spans 2.97 million square miles, making it the 6th largest country. Home to 27.3 million people in 2025, it has a population density of just 9 people per square mile, compared to the US's 94. Its landscapes dazzle. 70% is desert, yet it holds 10,000 beaches and rainforests older than dinosaurs. The indigenous peoples, with 65,000 years of history, maintain the world's oldest living culture, with 3.3% of Aussies identifying as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. Australia's economy ranks 14th globally, generating $1.8 trillion in 2025, driven by mining, which is 10% of GDP, and agriculture. Summer hits in December, with temperatures averaging 77 degrees Fahrenheit in Sydney. Wildlife is unmatched, with 80% of species, like platypuses, existing nowhere else. Despite its size, 89% of Aussies live in urban areas, mostly coastal. The Great Barrier Reef, stretching 1,400 miles, hosts 1,500 fish species. This mix of vast emptiness, rich culture, and natural wonders sets Australia apart. Now, let's hear about an ancient sound that carries Australia's spirit across time. Number 5. Didgeridoo. The didgeridoo, a sacred indigenous instrument, fills Australia's air with a deep humming sound. Crafted from eucalyptus trunks naturally hollowed by termites, each one is unique, producing notes that vary by maker. Used for over 40,000 years by Aboriginal peoples, it's central to ceremonies, especially Dreamtime storytelling, which shares creation myths. About 10,000 didgeridoos are sold annually, with 60% going to tourists. A 2023 study found that its vibrations can ease snoring, catching NASA's attention for sleep research. Players use circular breathing, a skill 80% of learners take months to master. In cities like Melbourne, street performers play for 500,000 passers-by yearly, while festivals like Garma showcase their cultural power to 2,000 attendees. Made without carvings, a didgeridoo's length, often 3 to 6 feet, shapes its tone. Arnhem Land artisans craft 70% of the traditional ones. Its sound echoes Australia's ancient heart, connecting past to present. Next, let's meet 3 adorable animals that steal the spotlight in Australia's wild. Number 4. Quokka, kangaroo, koala. Australia's quokka, kangaroo, and koala are a trio of charmers stealing hearts worldwide. Quokkas, dubbed the happiest animals, live on Rottenest Island, where 12,000 call home. Their constant smiles spark 500,000 selfies yearly, with 80% of tourists snapping one. Kangaroos, Australia's national symbol, number 50 million, outnumbering people 2 to 1. They hop at 40 miles per hour but can't move backward, reflecting a forward-only spirit on Qantas logos. Koalas, not bears but marsupials, sleep 20 hours daily on eucalyptus trees, eating 1 pound of leaves. Their fingerprints, eerily human-like, confuse forensic experts. In 2025, 90% of koalas face habitat threats, yet 1 million tourists visit sanctuaries like Lone Pine yearly. Quokkas eat plants, kangaroos graze grasslands, and koalas stick to 30 eucalyptus species. Together, they draw 10 million visitors to wildlife parks, boosting tourism by $3 billion. These animals embody Australia's wild, cuddly soul. Now, let's laugh at some street names so odd they sound made up. Number 3. Quirky street names. Australia's street names are a wild ride of humor, making you chuckle at their sheer oddity. Places like Nowhere Else in Tasmania, Mount Buggery in Victoria, and Eggs and Bacon Bay exist, delighting 500,000 tourists yearly, who snap photos of signs. In 2025, 60% of these quirky names stem from early settlers' wit, or indigenous words twisted over time. Come by Chance in New South Wales replaces its stolen sign 5 to 10 times annually, costing $2,000 each. Google Maps once mislabeled Nothing Street in Queensland, confusing drivers. About 15% of Australia's 300,000 streets have playful names like Looney Tunes Lane or Useless Loop, reflecting a culture where 80% of Aussies value humor in daily life. These names aren't just for laughs. Towns like Humpty Doo draw 50,000 visitors yearly, adding $10 million to local economies. From desert roads to coastal paths, they spark stories and selfies. Next, let's uncover natural wonders so stunning they'll leave you in awe. Number 2, natural and cultural wonders. Australia's landscapes and landmarks dazzle with beauty and history. Lake Hillier in Western Australia glows bubblegum pink, its color a mystery despite 2,025 studies pointing to algae. Spanning 15 acres, it draws 10,000 visitors yearly. The Daintree Rainforest, 180 million years old, covers 463 square miles in Queensland, housing 30% of Australia's animal species, including rare cassowaries. Tasmania's glowworm caves, with bioluminescent larvae, light up for 50,000 tourists annually, creating a starry underground. Uluru, a 1,142-foot sandstone giant in the outback, shifts from orange to red at sunset, sacred to Anangu people for 30,000 years. It sees 300,000 visitors yearly. Sydney's Opera House, a UNESCO site, hosts 1.2 million attendees across 1,800 shows annually, with its iconic sales worldwide. Melbourne, a UNESCO city of literature, boasts 400 bookstores and 200 literary events yearly, drawing 500,000 culture fans. These wonders, from ancient forests to modern marvels, make Australia unforgettable. Now let's explore a desert town so unique it feels like another planet. Number 1, Coober Pedy. Coober Pedy, a small town in South Australia's outback, is the world's opal capital, producing 70% of global gem quality opals since their discovery in 1915 by Willie Hutchison. Located 526 miles north of Adelaide, its 1,800 residents face summer heat, hitting 98 degrees Fahrenheit, so 50% live in underground dugouts carved into sandstone hills. These homes, costing as much as surface houses, stay cool at 73 degrees Fahrenheit, with some sprawling 450 square meters. The town's lunar-like landscape, with 250,000 mine shafts, starred in films like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Pitch Black. Underground you'll find churches like the Catacomb Church, a bookstore, and the Desert Cave Hotel, hosting 150,000 tourists yearly. Opal mining drives the economy, with $70 million in annual sales, but 60% of miners rely on welfare due to market swings. The town's name, from the Kokatha Barngarla term Coober Pedy, meaning white fella's hole, reflects its history, while locals call it Umuna, meaning long life. Water pumped from 15 miles away is Australia's most expensive, with residents paying $5 per 1,000 liters. The Kangaroo Breakaways Conservation Park nearby stuns with colorful desert vistas, drawing 20,000 visitors annually. Coober Pedy's 45 nationalities, including 60% post-World War II European immigrants, create a vibrant mix. Its golf course, played with glow-in-the-dark balls, holds unique reciprocal rights with St. Andrews in Scotland. This otherworldly town blends grit, gems, and global charm. We've reached the end of this video. Like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Comment your favorite Australian fact below and let us know what amazed you most.